Hello, beautiful souls. I call you to take a perception and quality check on your practice. Whatever your self-care practices are, there are some common tendencies, habits that may hinder the effect of your practice serving you in the most optimal way. So I want to talk about this misconception of meditation. We often think that meditation is about this zoning out kind of a process, out of the body and mind experience, or accomplishing this kind of a complete silence or emptiness. But is that really possible, and is it truly the purpose, really? Aren't we destined to use our wholeness, use our minds also in a more optimal way, not just shun it away? And we have this misconception also that the mind is something that is our enemy, and we kind of put this duality as our biggest challenge. And sure, we consist of body, mind, and something more intuitive that we call our soul or spirit or heart. And I think the ultimate goal with meditation is to really connect all these parts so well, connect to our wholeness, that we can truly tap into this inner guidance system and those answers that really do rise within once we connect all the parts and align with this beauty of the wholeness of our beings. Now, this misconception about meditation also leads to how we practice it in a way, because what we make as why we practice, an answer to that why, determines pretty much also how we go about our practice, and if it's left with any effect, or does it just become this kind of a routine that you just check out of your to-do list. So just like mental hygiene or dental hygiene, I like to compare these two things, because we need a practice, so we need a frame of practice, we need some kind of knowledge about what serves us and what serves our well-being. So we know that we wouldn't have our teeth if we didn't brush them every day. But if we just brushed it the same way, or just the same spot, or even just the one tooth, we wouldn't preserve all our teeth the rest of our lives, which is kind of the purpose with the practice. So the same thing with meditation and prayer and any kind of spiritual practice, or even physical exercise practice. We can do it with mindfulness and purpose and knowledge, and we can also deepen the knowledge and purpose of it, why we are doing it, and really improve the quality of it if we keep mindful about it and exploring about it. But if it gets stuck with habits, it will stop serving us, because we will forget in a way the process and just do it for the end of it, in a way, doing it for checking it out from our obligations. So I want to guide you through three warning signs, three kind of mistakes that we fall into, or traps that we fall into in any kind of practice, that our practices start stopping us. I have landed on these three mistakes in a way through my own experience and exploration throughout several years. And so let's talk about these challenges we have. So these are pretty much rooted in our limitations of our body and mind, and also the lack of purpose sometimes that we may feel when we go about our practices. So the first trap that we may fall into in meditation or any kind of other practice is also that we just forget about our body, that we forget the needs of our body, that we just rush into this mental chatter or race in our minds. And so we are not connected to our bodies, we don't breathe freely, we don't sit comfortably. It won't give the best effect for our practice, and we won't get all the parts connected if we don't start with the body, which is truly the extension of our truest being, our souls, also housing in a way our mind and soul. So that's the first thing. And the second challenge or mistake that we fall into has a lot to do about the habitual tendency of our mind becoming too rigid. Rigidity is truly the core of actually any kind of mental, emotional problems or any kind of conflicts, either they are within us or out in the world. When we get too rigid about certain belief systems or ways of doing things or ideologies or anything that in a way disintegrates and disconnects instead of connecting and uniting, we get into trouble. So rigidity is it's about sticking too much to the form, sticking too much to the how and forgetting the why. So once we start just just getting hooked up with the how in a way that we just follow the same steps every time, and we don't take in consideration that we are actually changing beings every day, and we have different needs every day at a given moment. And so the practice doesn't become really a practice serving our needs at the given moment. So the third trick or challenge or mistake that we do is that, and it's pretty much the extension of the rigidity really, it's that we kind of believe that the effect or result of the practice we choose comes from copying something. So it is about the rigidity again, but it's this thing about getting stuck in this getting stuck in details and how, and just adapting something from outside in and not really going all in and embodying and owning your practice and make it more personalized. So it's just not a copy of something, pretending to do something, but you actually really are present and do it all the way, no matter what way you do it, that you can honor your individuality and your way of doing it. So your path, your spiritual path, the tradition, the practice set up, however it looks like for you or what you believe in, you can still stick to it. But if you don't keep it explorative and you really commit to the process in it, it won't serve you. So this outside in process is a lot less effective than when things come from inside out. And when we are in this inside out, more process kind of a thinking instead of just result thinking and being, then things start happening because some things get born, some new ideas and intentions get born. So what I really truly feel is the true purpose of any kind of practice, whether it's a physical practice or a practice of how you nurture yourself or how you move yourself or how you meditate, how you even pray. If it doesn't bring you in contact and connection with your true self and actually birth some kind of a clarity, intention within you, it's not giving you anything to navigate, further to the next step in your life. It just becomes this kind of an empty routine. So there are beautiful intentions and affirmations out there, many kind of, meditation practices that are offered out there in the world. I would like to represent a different approach, that the whole purpose is really to tap so into our wholeness and to this inner wise voice, this inner soul's guidance within us, where the answers really arise. That the intention is born in your meditation practice. It's not something copied from outside in, and then you just wait and see if it somehow does something for you, right? So the interesting thing about thoughts and feelings that move within us every day, the wants and desires of our body or mind, they're not always necessarily aligned with what we truly need, right? We can make decisions that are not always serving us, and that's human, that's okay, that happens. That is really the pathway of learning, really, this, in that sense, the duality of our beings, that our body and mind gets disconnected from our true essence, because we have this lower and higher nature in a way which we're trying to align with each other, but when the lower nature, in a way, our drifts and our thoughts and patterns and our inner programming kind of runs our lives, we are more in an unconscious state, and we get more disconnected in a way from this, from purpose and higher purpose. So we're always kind of bouncing a little bit in between these realities of our lower and higher nature. And once we're aligned and can optimize and recalibrate our systems, by meditation and mind-body practices, movement systems like yoga or tai chi or whatever, which harmonizes more your whole being and creates this softer, easeful place of seeing your reality, perceiving your inner and outer reality. That's where clarity and some new intentions and decisions are born, which may serve you better. So this, I feel, is the ultimate purpose also of meditation, that we kind of align this higher and lower nature. So it's not all about just calming the senses, calming the body, doing the right kind of breathing and going through some kind of right steps. Yes, we need a structure and framework, which I'm also providing here, but this framework is more giving you just, suggestions in a way that you have checked out of, at least visiting your wholeness. You have visited the awareness in your body, so that you've got optimized your body well enough that you can dive deeper. You optimized your emotional and intellectual awareness in a way that you really can address also what's going and moving within you, because we know that, as I said, quiet and silence and peace, it's not our reality constantly. We know that our mind and our emotions live really their own life and can be pretty turbulent at times, and the practice is there to serve us, to get us become more aware what's really going on, so that we can make the right choice and see what are those thoughts and feelings that are serving us, and what are those that we should maybe let go or work with, that are causing that turbulence or struggle within us. So changing our perceptions about our reality will have a huge effect on changing also our state of well-being. We can remove suffering and turbulence by this practice in best case. So I'm not telling that, of course, meditation should not replace seeking professional help if you're really struggling with things which is really hindering you to function in your everyday life. Reach out to people, reach out to professionals, but I'm all in for providing more of this kind of awareness and this kind of quality perception check on our practices, that we can make all our practices more sustainable habits instead of being just this kind of unconscious empty habits or routines. There's nothing wrong with habits, but we just need to choose those that actually serve us and unlearn the ones which don't. And we have many habits also in our mental and emotional realities within us. So meditation provides really this kind of laboratory also to observe this habitual thinking and feeling patterns. So, and what I want to really guide you through is to tapping into that higher awareness, where we can really observe all the fluctuations of our thoughts and feelings, and seeing really the connection also in between, that which thoughts are actually really creating that feeling that I am now, which I'm filled with, and which is maybe troubling me. Or also observing those positive feelings that are giving us this driving force, that we can also channel that, either it's excitement in a exaggerated level of negative thinking or feeling, or it is this very positive excitement that keeps us a little bit out of alignment, also making a choice what we do next. So this is really my deepest intention, and I have explored, I have witnessed that I have come through some pretty harsh stuff through in my life also by this exploration and sticking to my practices and keeping it explorative and keeping the quality and purpose always in my mind, in a way, clear. And we have always a choice to make things better and improve the quality and purpose of the things we do if we keep exploring and mindful. So it's all about this. It's not about indoctrinating into anything kind of dogmatic, any kind of setup. It's a set of some steps that you go through. So whatever your practice looks like, you can still follow it the way you do it, but just this kind of a journey which I will guide you through, where we can integrate awareness a little bit deeper in our bodies and minds, so that we can find that signal, that right signal. When our body and mind is harmony, we do tap kind of naturally, automatically into that signal, that channel where the light kind of gets zapped, and we are able to truly see beyond those feelings, whether it's sadness or jealousy or happiness or whatever it is. We're feeling that we can detect the soul's language, those spiritual higher feelings, which are consisting of quite a different vocabulary also, which I will introduce in this course. And this is a beautiful process once we integrate these in everyday life, because you can come out of your practice with a very clear feeling. You have endorsed the feeling you actually want in your life, and you have a clarity how you go about your day and navigate to the next thing, and have basically chosen what you're going to practice in a way throughout the day in order to meet the challenges of the day and of your life.